Hello, this is one of the F-35 Lightning II kits from COBI, American markings on it, and it is a B, which means that it's got the VTOL setup in it, which was the most important thing for me. I was not going to get an A or a C. I waited for the B to become available specifically for the VTOL stuff because it's one of the things that makes the whole platform extra cool to me. I did get this about a year ago and just never did content on it. I got it for me and just didn't want to deal with hate over on the old channel. But now I got a new channel. I figured I'd share it and share my thoughts. This was from the days when they had just the single strut for their stand. So as soon as I move it a little bit, it starts to wobble. There's no worries about this breaking off. There's plenty of durability in the piece, the plastic piece itself. However, and it allowed you to change up your pose a little bit by just turning it around. But it does have that effect right there of being really wobbly as soon as anything around you moves. So I do apologize that this is going to be doing that a lot through the whole thing. This has 594 pieces. It does come with the landing gear as well. I just have them posed off right now. I'll show you those later. It does come with the stand. It's got the print down here. And the retail price of this was around $65 US as of the time of the recording of this video. Now I see it readily available under 60. You know, it's like between 50 and 60 is pretty standard right now. It's a small plane though. This is in the 1/48th scale size, and it really highlights just how small of a plane it is relative to the F-22, because the F-22 truly dwarfs this and makes this feel like less of a good deal than I would have expected. That said, it does look very good and very accurate from the outside and nice and consistent. It's very smooth. Of course, this is modern COBI, so no stickers are used. It's nice to be able to see in the canopy there. All prints for any of the decorations that you see throughout this. Very consistent surface texture. The color scheme here with mostly just one color of dark gray makes me worry about, just visually care about the shininess of their parts a lot less than with some of the other planes that they've done. It just seems close enough to me. The horizontal stabs are able to move up and down a little bit. Well, they're able to move down a fair bit, barely able to move up a little bit. So we're lacking just symmetry in range there. You can't do anything with the vertical stabs. You got no control surfaces that are movable back here, but that just comes down to what they were able to do within the available space without making everything way too thick. It is in beast mode, so you've got a bunch of external weapon stations used there with the pylons, and thankfully these are attached with multiple pegs each, not just one. You know, some of the older planes attached various various armaments to the outside with just one, and then you could just kind of go all over the place, which was annoying, having to always line them up. No such issue here. There's also an internal weapons bay, which I will show you in just a second. But before I get to the underside, and that does happen sometimes. This piece sticks with the stand. It actually gets wedged in there. Rotate that around if that ever happens. You just rotate it to get it off the stand. It's supposed to stay behind though. But I did want to show you one thing that's wrong on the top of this. That's objectively wrong. It's this. This is supposed to represent the bulge for the Gatling gun. And the B doesn't have such a thing for the internal gun. The B model doesn't have that. I've seen some box art for some versions of this that swap it around to the other side, or that just mirror the entire image to not show you that mistake. I think they know that they made a mistake, but yeah, that shouldn't be there. One thing that you can do though, because underneath here, this is one piece on top, but underneath here you do have studs. So if you just take that off, that's going to be noticeable. But you can swap this to the other side and then shift this back. Put it like over here and just pretend that this is the slight little bulge and inlet for the radiators on that side for the cooling system, for the heat exchangers and such, which will make it then passable as far as accuracy is concerned. Of course, I mean, this is a brick-based model, so it's not going to be approaching the accuracy of a proper scale model, but that's just clearly a small little oops, little boo-boo. I do like the shaping of the intakes here, the main intakes. They turned out well. They're not complex to put together but they do look good to me. And of course, all of this being specialized stuff works perfectly well, because that is approaching scale model level of accuracy there. The canopy opens up a little bit, comes with pilot. I'm actually not going to take the pilot out for this quick little shorter form of video, just because it's a pain to undo all of that stuff. But it does also come with a hairpiece if you do want to use them separately. Let me know if it's critically important to you in these reviews to focus on the one little pilot figure beyond having him in the cockpit. I personally think it's more important to have it in here, but it does take a whole lot of extra time that I don't know is entirely worth it to go through that. But underneath here is the internal weapons bay. You got the two doors that open up, and inside you got some, it's supposed to represent AMRAAMs or something, but they're just sitting inside. They couldn't come up with anything to actually hold them in place. It's awkward. So yeah, it's awkward. That's all I'll say about that. Feels weird. Okay, we do need to look at the conversion to STOVL, like so. You open that up, right? You see the lift fan right there from the top. You can even spin it a little bit. That's good. Okay, and then back here, you don't have the full bearing setup that's rotating around doing a little Transformers thing that it does, but it is able to turn down like so. Probably sticks out a little bit too far, but you're able to do that. So we're off to a good start. And then, well, that's it. Yeah, maybe you can kind of make it feel better by having these doors down, but you don't have the outlets down here. It's fine to not have any suggestion for the little roll actuators or the wing based outlets, but there's also a whole other set of vents that should be able to open up here. It's definitely missing some things. So they sacrificed, they compromised on the vertical takeoff and landing or short takeoff and landing mode and how it looks in order to get the thing at the correct scale with mostly parts that they had available, with the exception of these and these. Yeah, it's definitely a little bit disappointing to me, especially, like I said, since I specifically waited for the B model to get the short takeoff and landing or vertical takeoff and landing stuff, and then it's actually not that good in this model. So yeah, and the accuracy issue here, I don't know if this was rushed or what, but it's missing a little bit. At least in conventional takeoff and landing, conventional flight mode, it does look great though. Here are the optional gear subassemblies, which do look pretty good. You just have to remove two pieces to get all of those on there. And I already showed you the hairpiece and just a very small number of spare pieces for this one. Again, the retail price for this started around $65 US, and today you should be able to get it for $55 to $60, and it's just under 600 pieces. The value doesn't feel great to me, especially because I was really spoiled by old COBI prices from some years ago, like 5+ years ago. So my expectation is still skewed to this day, but I'm sure that as I continue to buy more of their stuff, I'll get a little bit more used to their adjusted prices. But again, at least the thing looks good, with the exception of the things that are specific to the F-35B versus the A and C. Well, especially versus the A. I do wish that, at least for this price that I do feel is a little bit high, that they could have gotten more of the good stuff that I personally was really looking for. But yeah, if you like what this looks like and you're not too worried about the accuracy of having it in hover mode, or in VTOL or STOVL mode, then I think you're going to really like just how it is, just like this, whether you have the gear on or not. But this one has some compromises. So I feel torn about it. I like it. I'm really happy to have it, but I wish it was better. Maybe they'll do some updates in the future. But that's it for now. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to you again soon.